Well, hello, everybody. Hey, this is your girl, um, Kim Mars, better known as Kim Mars or Charmaine, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I'm coming to you with what I want to talk about today, and you probably see in the title, if I titled this correctly, is I want to talk a little bit, I want to dig a little bit deeper into the gaslighting that happens when you are dealing with a narcissistic boss, whether you're dealing with a narcissistic friend, whether you're dealing with the narcissistic coworker, or just someone that's just toxic. Okay, I know that we talk a lot about narcissistic people and their influences on our lives, but this channel, it once again is to educate and to get more aware of how to deal in these situations, because a lot of times we're in these situations and we really don't know how to deal with it. It causes a lot of stress and a lot of anxieties for a lot of us and for most of the people. And we really don't understand what it actually is doing to our brain when we are in a situation where a person is gaslighting us. Now, gaslighting is not the only thing that a narcissistic person does to to people, or just a toxic person. I hate to keep saying narcissistic, but that's not the only thing that a narcissist does, or a person that is toxic does to you. But when you're in these type of situations, it's really detrimental that you get out of those situations. Okay, I'm going to show you a clip that I did for a short, and then we're going to get into discussing a little bit more about what these how we can actually navigate in this world of, I would say, narcissistic people, how I actually do it and how we actually can work together. But before I get to that, I don't know why I almost forgot. But look, guys, we are at 100, over, I believe, over 100 subscribers now. I know that may not seem like a lot to some of these big, huge channels that get, like, thousands and thousands of people. And that's really kind of not, that's not really what I'm looking forward to. Um, what I really want is, I guess, the more the people, um, the more the awareness is what I feel. Forget about YouTube and their you know subscriber thing. I'm more looking at, am is the awareness getting out there, because we have been through a lot. A lot of us have been through a lot, and because of the secrecy of not being able to talk about this, because you don't want to put your parents or your family in a bad light, because you have been taught all your life to kind of keep this stuff under wraps. Okay, so to have at least 100 people being on board with getting, well, as far as I know, it's way, way, way more than that, but on this channel, I'm able to talk to 100 people that may know 100 people, and so on and so forth. And this is really incredible, because I'm not really looking to, you know, get subscribers, like I said, in terms of what YouTube is looking at, or what a person would do to get YouTube channel going. I'm looking to get awareness out to as many people as I possibly can, and this is just a avenue for me to be able to do it. The other thing is, I'm very, very happy. Thank you guys, 101 or two or whatever. And as we begin to grow, thank you guys for being there, because it's just gives me hope that this information is getting out, and it is getting to the people that need to be aware. We have a lot of mental illnesses in this world, and they're being misdiagnosed by saying that they, bipolar and all these other things. And some of these diagnoses that these people are getting are really just due to sometimes their parents actually putting that on them. I've heard of people actually their parents actually putting them in a mental institution, and the person is, they're not crazy and they don't have mental issues, but they're just mean people, and they were very toxic. And it could be that child that actually stood up to the parents or stood their grounds, and then the parents wants to do something to be revengeful, so they make the other person looks crazy. And this is where this video is actually going as far as what the gaslighting goes. Gaslighting can make you feel like you're crazy, because you see a reality, you know the truth of a reality, and another person who maybe have authority over you um, is trying to make you believe another reality, which is not the truth. Okay. And this is where it messes with your head, because you're thinking, oh my God, so let's look at the clip really quick here, and then I'm going to get into more of try to get a little bit more in depth about the way that it affects you and what you can do to actually heal from that. Okay, so let's look at this
If
one.
you find this information valuable, hit the like button. These are just some of the ways that narcissists destroy your mental health. If you are in a relationship with a narcissist, it is important to seek help from a professional so that you can learn how to deal with the narcissist and protect your mental health. Narcissists are master manipulators, and they will do whatever it takes to control you and get what they want. Here are some of the ways they can destroy your mental health. Number 6. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which the narcissist convinces you that you are crazy, delusional, or paranoid. They may do this by denying things that you know to be true, making you doubt your own memory and perception. Over time, gaslighting can erode your sense of reality, causing you to doubt yourself and your sanity. Number 7. Emotional manipulation. Narcissists are experts at manipulating your emotions. They may play on your fears and insecurities to control you, or they may use guilt, flattery, or other tactics to get you to do what they want.
So yes, as you can see, yes. So I did that because I wanted to make sure that we kind of stay on base of what we're talking about here. So the main thing is that yes, there is an old movie called actually Gaslight, and in this movie, the guy was gaslighting his wife through the whole movie, making her think that she was crazy. Now, some of us have been done like this ever since we were probably a very small child, and somebody probably thought it was funny to uh, tell you one thing and then try to pull the wool over your eyes. Like, I never liked when people would, jokingly, that's, when you're little, I'm talking about like under the age of 5 or whatever, and somebody tells you something, like your mother may tell you something, and she may jokingly say something to you that that confuses you, because when you're under 5, you really don't have this adult sense of humor, right? Like, I used to have people ask me, because my hair was long, they would come up to me and say stupid stuff like, "Can I have that ponytail?" and all those little things. We didn't. When you're that little, you really don't get the joke, and you don't get the adult sense of humor. So a lot of times when we joke like that to children, they they get confused. They get confused of do I laugh because I'm not supposed to really say anything back to an adult. So do I say, no, you can't have my ponytail, or should I just let? Because I had one lady just like, I'm gonna cut it off and put it on my head and all this other stuff, and they were laughing, but I was like confused, and I'm like, no, you can't have my ponytail, and that will be looking real stupid on your head. This is what I'm thinking as a kid. So when parents used to do that, they don't realize, I guess, that this is a kid that you're talking to, and what we're trying to do is take everything that you say literally, right? And we trusting you not to confuse us that way. But a lot of times we are gaslighted all the way from being a child all the way up until adulthood, okay, by these people that like to manipulate us, okay? Even all this stuff about Santa Claus and all the rest of that stuff, I see as being sort of gaslighting to me, because you messing with my reality. You telling me one thing and then you are doing a whole nother thing, and I know a different reality. The reality is there, in case you're looking, there is no Santa Claus, but the reality is different from what you're trying to make me believe. So, we may think of all these little things as being nothing, but after a while, you really don't have a lot of respect, or you don't have a lot of trust in the person that you needed to have trust in. You don't have a lot of you can't believe anything that they say, because their reality is different from your reality, and trying to argue with a person that is gaslighting you is just impossible. You're going to go around in circles. They're going to be saying one thing and you're going to be saying another, okay? But the whole thing of gaslighting is so that they can turn things around, so that you can be the culprit and you can seem like you're crazy. And this goes really deep. It doesn't always go to just somebody telling a little white lie and you go on about your business. These people are holding key positions in your life. Like, you could have a manager that's gaslighting you, trying to tell you that, you did one thing, and you know, and they sit there and lie to you and flip the script and say you did something different. It has you thinking like, man, it really makes you not have respect for that person, because you know the truth and you know that they know the truth. But then they are trying to act like, you're crazy. And people have lost their jobs, walked off of jobs, and so on, because they just can't take the mental abuse, because this is definitely mental abuse. And it's very hard um, to prove to other people that this person is doing that, right? Because if they are good actors and actresses, and you're the one that's upset, pretty much everybody tends to take the side of the person that is actually the more calmer person, right? Because now they're telling the person that you're the crazy one, right? Um, and it's very difficult, because it really does mess with your head, because it makes you, if you, this is how you know you being gaslighted. Okay. You know a truth, and the other person is trying to change your perception of the truth. Okay. By lying. Okay. So you could say, hey, you know what, I noticed yesterday you seemed to have attitude, and you did, uh you walked out the house, you slammed the door, you said these things to me. And then that person may say, what do you mean I slammed the door? I didn't slam the door. I didn't have an attitude. um and I didn't say that to you. And you're like, wait a minute, you did say that to me, because then I said this. You recall the whole thing back to them exactly as it happened. And then they stand there and say, no, you are really tripping. I wasn't even here yesterday. I was actually at my friend's house, and I don't know who you're talking about that slammed the door. I never slammed the door. And so, are you okay? Did you like hit your head earlier? Because I remember you were saying that you had a headache. Is that, and you may have never said you had a headache. Maybe you did. Because sometimes the whole slick thing about them is sometimes they will throw a little bit of truth in there, to you, especially if you have revealed to them um, that you had a headache, or that you have headaches and things like that. So this is when they actually use some of those things that they've been talking to you, or trying to get those little things from you. That's why you don't want to overshare to people. This is the way that you stop the gaslighting. Is not, number one is you don't overshare. Don't tell people that you don't trust about anything that's like private to you. Like, don't be telling them that you're having mental issues going on with you. I hear people just love to share their whatever sickness they have. Don't be telling people that, because they're going to use it against you. If you tell people that, oh, I be having anxieties, oh my gosh, you tell the wrong person that, guess what's going to happen when you have a conversation with them that they don't like, or a boundary that they don't like. They're going to say, well, you know what, you did say you do have those anxieties. Did you take your medication? You know, they will gaslight you with that. They'll try to change your reality, and then it'll make you second think, yourself, especially if you are on medication. So you will start to think that, oh my gosh, maybe I did say that, maybe I didn't do that, maybe I did, and this is how they get you. And then you start to try to, the truth, because you just know the truth. This is why I say, people, if you don't have a journal, you need to get a journal. Get a journal and document things, write things out, because you, at least you'll be holding on to your reality of knowing that this happened. Like, for instance, if that situation happened to you, that person walked out, they slammed the door, they called you all types of names, and um, you can get your journal and just like, you know what, this is crazy. This person is acting da 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 da. And then when they come back like the next week, next year, whatever, and say, well, you know what, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't shut no door. I didn't lock nothing. I wasn't even here that day. Then you can say, well, I know you were here because I wrote it in my diary right here, or I wrote it in my journal right here. Because, or if you want to say that, you might not want to say that. You might just want to keep that to yourself and say, well, at least I know the truth. Because at the end of the day, you can't hold anybody else accountable for the truth. Only you can do is you can tell the truth and hold yourself accountable of knowing what the truth is. What I don't want you to do is get mixed up in their game. Okay, because they are playing the game with you. They're playing the game of, let me see how much I can get away with. Okay, and how I can make this person look crazy. Because even in that movie, The Gaslight, that guy was literally trying to make his wife look like she was crazy, so he can have her committed, right? And you may have somebody, believe it or not, you may have somebody close to you. If you're in a narcissistic relationship, they could try to have you committed, especially if they're your husband or your wife, or somebody that has that authority. They could actually have you committed on some stuff by gaslighting you. And then you start to second uh think yourself, and then you start to really, it start to wear on you mentally. Yes, it will start to wear on you mentally, because you would actually start to believe it. You start to say, did I close the door? Did I shut the door? This is how a lot of times the OCD starts to happen for people, because they want to continue to say, oh, I think I did that, because they're second thinking themselves every time. They're overthinking, because somebody's probably messing with their head a lot of times. Okay, not saying that everybody who has OCD, that's what's happening to them, but the majority of these people, that's probably somebody gaslighting them. And I can just say this, that it doesn't help if you have OCD and somebody gaslighting you. That's going to make you really crazy, right? I'm not crazy, I shouldn't say crazy, but that's going to make you really second think yourself, right? So your thing is number one, if you know that you have a person that, you know their reality is always different than yours, then you want to keep track of this. You might want to record some things. You might, while they're talking, while you talking, they're not going to like that if you show them that. Because I had an incident where I was sitting down to talk to a person that I was dealing with. Well, I'm the type of person, when I'm talking to a person, or I'm trying to make sure our relationship is going really well, I like to document things so that we can continue on that path. Or if we need to change some things, or if I need to change some things in myself, or set some boundaries, we can do that. But I always have like a pen and a paper to journal it. Now, the only people that's going to get upset about something like this is if that person is trying to run game on you. A person that's normal and just really looking out for you and them, they're going to be happy, and they might even grab their own pen and paper so that they can actually jot down some things themselves, and you guys can work on whatever issues that you may have in the relationship. But the moment that you see that a person doesn't want to set boundaries, they don't want to talk, they don't want to have proof. And some people, it doesn't matter if they have proof because they are such liars that they doesn't even matter that you have proof. You can have them on tape. You could, you can have them on videotape and they'll still lie. But what I'm saying is that a person that is with you on that, they don't get upset that you are wanting to write things down because, you just want to keep your reality in check, right? So the person that I tried to do that with, we literally wind up breaking up at that moment because of the fact that this person went all the way off on a deep end because they're like, I guess they figure in their head that this is not going to work because I cannot run game on this woman. Okay. I cannot run game on them because they're gonna be writing stuff down and all this stuff. No, let me flip the script and act and get out of this situation, which was the right thing to do in my case. Okay. And I'm not mad at that situation because I want somebody who I can do that with. If I want to set boundaries, they're going to be okay. And if they want to set boundaries, I'm going to be okay. That's a healthy give and take. But the thing is that, and this also again stops you from being gaslit. Okay, when you know that you're dealing with a person that's a habitual liar. Okay, if you suspect that every time you talk to them their reality is different than yours, then you are dealing with a person that's maybe a habitual liar. Okay, meaning that every time that when they're lying, every time their mouth is moving, that means they're lying. Okay, so when you have somebody like that, or if you ever feel like you need to record something, that's a okay red flag that you, number one, see some discrepancies in your communication with them. Number two, you just feel like this person is just not being honest. So that's when you start to think, okay, so if you ever in a conversation with somebody, or if you're ever in a situation where you feel like you need to record it, or you need to have a witness there or something like that, then you know that you're dealing with a habitual liar. You know that your instincts are correct. Okay, so that's what you need to do is start getting. You need to journal it. Make sure you keep it in writing, especially if it's a boss or if it's a colleague or if it's just somebody you just don't believe. Your journal is a wonderful place to actually start writing some of those things down so that you can hold on to the reality of things. Okay. So that's my tip for you in terms of stopping someone from gaslighting. Now, you can call out everybody that gaslights you, but that's not going to do you any good because you're just going to seem like you're just a super sensitive person. And if that person is a really good actor or actress, you just going to look like, and it depends on the situation that you're in. If it's your mom and you're younger, you're just going to be looking disrespectful. And if it's your boss, they're going to think you're being disrespectful because they think they're supposed to, tell you what to do and run you. If it's a friend, that friend, if they are a gaslighter or truly a gaslighter, they're going to get upset. So you can't really win a lot of times, except for you can try calling people out on it. And if you see that you're always getting in an argument with them, just document it. Okay. So that's where your journal comes in so that you know that you're keeping the right energies around you. Okay. Um, just you're not going to remember it all the time. You're not going to remember everything word from word and all that. That's why you need to write it down. Okay. So that's what I have for you guys. If you are a child of, if your childhood was toxic and you had a lot of abuse in your childhood, I am having a workshop, a Zoom call where you can actually help and be a part of this Zoom call on the 28th, at 7 o'clock in Meetup. Okay, it's the Meetup group. It's on meetup.com. All you need to do is just look up inner love trauma, and then you'll be able to join into that. Now, I only have a few seats, so and you must put your first name in the Zoom call, because I'm letting people in. You will be in the waiting room until I let you in, because of course you have trolls that they go everywhere. Okay, so just let me know if you have any questions or any concerns about that. I do have some trainings that I am going to be implementing, and please go ahead and get involved in those trainings, because it's going to help you. If you need a one-on-one meeting with me to help you work through some of those traumas that you have been through, you need to reach out to me. I do have my information in the description box. It is a very, very um, wonderful one-on-one, and it's just me and you talking on a Zoom call, but we are going to put together a plan so that you can heal and move forward in your life. This is a very difficult situation, especially as those childhood traumas start to come to the surface. Okay, and you're being triggered by certain things. Having um, some tools in your arsenal will help you be aware of yourself and be aware of what you can do, so that you're not completely always feeling just, gone. You know what I mean? So, having a one on one with me, we will make it right now, the one on ones are for 8 weeks. Um, and I will meet with you weekly. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll work on one thing at a time, so that we can at least get you to the point where you at least are aware of what to do and how to navigate through this narcissistic world. That's what I have for you guys. I want to thank you so much. And I want us to all just keep healing. Okay. I'll talk to you later. Let me know if you want to be in the meetup. Just go ahead and meet us in the meetup on the Zoom call at 7 o'clock on the 28th. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye bye.